Hello, everybody, and welcome to possibly the finale of Purple Plays Dead Rising. In the last part, we started overtime mode and found out that Frank was in the process of zombification. We had to gather ingredients in order to hold off the infection, if only temporary. And now we have all the ingredients, and we've been fighting the military, who has pretty much quarantined the mall. But we still have one last thing to get, and those are queens. But before that, we have a generator to either find or repair, and that is at the clock tower. So, just real quick, I wanted to show that once you unlock overtime mode, if something were to go wrong, you could always start overtime mode from that point. You do not need to play 72-hour mode again if necessary. So it's a good checkpoint at the very least. But let us resume one last time, possibly. So in order to find the generator, you want to go outside to Leisure Park. That is where the clock tower is. So let's try to be careful here. The mall is still dark, which is annoying. Then we got these assholes. Screw it. I'm making a break for it. Right in the knee. Back of the knee. So as you can see, the zombies are still quite active out here. If I'm not mistaken, there's also something else active out here as well. I might be mistaken, but I believe that there's a helicopter out here that will shoot you. Oof. Gotta be a little more careful. The convicts will not respawn anymore, as far as I'm aware of. But here's the clock tower. And these are the lovely remains of our friend's helicopter. It is quite unfortunate. Love those shoes.
If this thing leads out of here, I doubt these zombies would just let us walk right through.
But that is a good thing to hint. Oh, there's the helicopter. Be careful, that thing, I believe, will shoot missiles at you. As you can see. I believe you can get an achievement for shooting down the helicopter, hence why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to shoot it down. Ah! Damn. You ass. Got it. Will it crash?
Perfect.
So... a queen would be nice here. Luckily, there's another one. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it. Ah, here's the generator. Well, I just wasted a queen. Well, that's fine. We have another volunteer. The amount of corpses has depleted, so at least they're cleaning up. It's actually looking like a real mall. Well, that's one. At least 10. Alright. So there's no objective as to where to go to get queens, but as you can see, and I believe that is why they tell you to get the generator, is so that you... What the hell? Well, it seems some stragglers have started to arise. Is the military even here? Seems like... I guess they're giving more zombies. You have much bigger things to worry about. Well, I'm giving you another. Oh, I'm not feeling so good. I'll be right back, folks. Okay, I'm back. What was supposed to be about a 30-minute maybe video is gone up to 45, at least on my end. Ooh, I may just start cutting stuff out just to save time. Oh man. I hear it, but I don't see it. Where'd it go? Ah, there you are. Real quick, I'm gonna stock up on food since I'm drastically low. Oh, no. Now that I'm all stocked up, let us finish this. Yes, beep. Yeah, look at that Ultra Instinct dodge with the motorcycle from the bullets. That's some stupid shit right there. Oh, my back hurts. Not from, like, doing any, like, work or anything in particular, just from other unmentionable things. But we have all the queens now.
You're gonna inject me with that, huh? Okay, Doc. Let's get this over with. At least I won't have to worry about turning into one of them for a while. Okay. Next on the agenda. Figure out a way to get the hell out of here.
While I was isolating the hormone, I managed to identify a pheromone that suppresses the attack instinct in adult parasites. In other words, the zombies don't like the way it smells. If you give me a little more time, I should be able to produce some of this pheromone.
They think it smells bad? You think we could use something like that to keep them away from us? We could just walk right past them and get out of here.
In theory, yes. Either way, it's certainly better than nothing.
There was a cave. Outside, where the helicopter crashed. It was packed with zombies, I mean shoulder to shoulder. But it may lead somewhere outside. If it works, your anti-zombie perfume, it could keep us safe in that cave. What do you say? You ready to get the hell out of here?
There won't be enough of this pheromone to waste it on experiments. We'll only have enough to use it once.
Whatever you say.
Well, I got my wine. Luckily, we don't have to escort her through the mall.
There are so many. Where on earth could this lead?
I don't know. But considering how many of them keep pouring out of here, it must be connected to something. Isabella, look. Any other way out of here is guarded by the military. If we're gonna get out of here and put a stop to Carlito's plan, we've got to go in there. It's the only way. It's not like we're unarmed. We got your smelly perfume, don't we? I wouldn't be alive right now if your shot hadn't worked. The perfume's gonna work too. I know it.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Right.
you can save right here and, well, be safe, so to speak. Because this is the point, this is the point of no return. As long as you're... Hold on just a hair. As long as you are in range of this pheromone, the zombies won't be able to do anything. Queens will be very essential here. So luckily there's some down here. It's best to try and kill the zombies that are around while she opens the gates. She can't be touched. You can if you're out of range. But I'm going to go ahead and kill everything in here because I'm pussy. As you can see, they get knocked down. Of course, you can always hold their hand too. That way you can keep the pheromone closer. Yeah. I believe it grows weaker the closer you get out of here. Well, that was stupid. But whatever. Alright. Ah! Don't need to push. Not me, anyway. If you're around this level, you should have already learned the double lariat, which is very good in crowd surroundings. If you don't know how to execute it, press L3 in the attack button. Whoa, that was quite a jump there. I might go ahead and inform it. The downside is that it hits everything in the vicinity, including Isabella. So be careful. I have one more queen. Also, it's best to do the double lariat with your bare hands. Because with an item, Frank will throw it or something. It'll be good as a throwing attack, but not good otherwise. You can see the pheromones are working as good. That's why it's good to have 2 queens already. Carnage. One for clearance, one for the road.
Come on! Go!
Let's just see if we can walk through this. I think we're getting close to a little checkpoint. I mean, you might want to do this anyways, and just hoard up on food items instead.
Are you sure this was a good idea?
Guards here, too. If we can get that gate open, they'll be too busy dealing with zombies to notice us slip by.
Wait! The pheromone is starting to wear off. It's only strong enough to cover one of us. What are you... What
All
are
right,
you
hang on
doing?
tight, okay? Once we're out, let's see if we can't steal ourselves that set of wheels.
Here's another save point.
Alright.
And I'm going to take it. Because what comes next is probably the real second hardest boss. Or most annoying anyways. I said that she can be. This can get very annoying. At the very least, getting to this area isn't bad. Because you are now in, well, this form. Meaning that no one can touch you, even if there was no pheromone. It just makes it easier. now for probably the most annoying thing. You'll see what I mean in just a hair. Meet the XM3 prototype tank. An automated tank that can't be cheated. You have to use the minigun turret. Shoot the front light in order to deal any damage. You have unlimited ammo, so there's no reason to not hold the fire button, which is square. Once the laser pointer comes out, shoot that, otherwise you'll be taking a direct hit. Really want to be careful, because the road can be a little bumpy and turny. This thing. Let's see. Yes, after a certain amount of time, it will attack. It took me about 4 tries before I could actually defeat this thing on my first run. And then, as it's about to die, it'll start summoning the drone at the end, which gives you even more multitasking to do along with shooting lights. I'm actually doing rather well, but probably because I'm a much better player than I was back then. You always want to get rid of that laser pointer. It does the most damage, and the others will just fly in eventually. There's no time limit on this, so don't feel like you need to rush. Ah! I forgot it has missiles too. Oh wait, those are the turns. Or that is, I don't know. Just go down already. Almost dead. Oh, thank goodness.
These automated machines are no use at all on the battlefield. Switch to manual control. Aim main cannon.
Oh, shit.
Well, what have we here? Where were you hiding when my men mopped up the mall? On a mission in which the number of targets is unclear. it's difficult to ensure absolute thoroughness. Huh. You have imagination. That's what drives you in your quest to run. Your quest to hide. As prey, you and your kind are much more stubborn than the zombies.
How much do you know about the zombies?
I commanded the Santa Cabeza cleanup operation. If we had fulfilled our mission then, we wouldn't be needed here now to take care of this incident.
That's all it was to you, huh? A mission. What about those innocent people who had to pay for sins committed by our government
Our
and its
mistakes
inhuman
have
research?
not begun with this operation. Humanity has proven itself to be quite adept at making mistakes. Ha! Hell, it's the only thing we truly excel at. Well then, I'd say this mission isn't quite over yet. Don't you agree?
Believe it or not, this is the final boss. And he is definitely worth it only because you have no weapons. Your best bet? Just do your best to stay alive. He likes to throw you off of the tank. He will get back on though. And he really likes to kick your ass. Well, I mean, just like any other psychopath. The double lariat would be your best friend here, but he likes to block too. There's not really much of a strategy to this other than try to stay alive. If you get the fucking chance. Ah! On. That's just a feint. Stop blocking. Ah! The knee drop does a lot of damage too, as you saw in the beginning. Did I get him? Now I got him. That was such a jank fight. It's so finicky. But even at level 50, it's probably the most difficult next to Cletus. I don't know. It's worthy of being a difficult boss fight, but mainly because you have no items. And also, it's not very encouraged to be fighting one-on-one with your fists. But that's why I mentioned the double lariat earlier, because it will be your best friend in this fight. But that is endgame now. Unbreakable. And infinity mode. And here we have the true credits of the game. These I will not be skipping, unless I get copyright for the music. But that was Dead Rising. Quite an interesting ending. One that still kind of confuses me on the emotion being portrayed. Overall, this game's still fun, but the more that I played it, the more I appreciate the sequels that come after. Not to say that this game is bad by any means. Do I think it's aged well? Not necessarily, but I still like it for what it is. At least for its series. It's just one of those games that's very charming to me. And with all the seriousness and how I destroyed it with my surfbot head and many outfits, it just was too ridiculous to be invested in this. If anybody doesn't know, and I don't remember if I said it or not, but this was an early Xbox 360 title. It took me a while to beat too, mainly because it was very difficult at a very low level. But once I got to level 40 or 50, that's when the game started getting easy. But my first ending was the worst one, being ending F, and that is letting Carlito blow up the mall. The music in this game is lovely, and this song is called Justified by, I think the artist's name is Drea? I can't recall right now. There are plenty of copyrighted music, or there's special music copyrighted that normally I tried to avoid uploading, but I think, I don't know. We'll see how it goes when I upload this at last. But I do like the soundtrack of this game. It still surprises me to this day how many zombies they're able to fit into one screen of the game while you're playing. It really gives you the feel of being in a zombie outbreak. And it gives me the imagination I've always had of everything that's around is a weapon. And if there were ever to be a zombie outbreak, this is exactly how I would be doing it. Just with less being bit, of course. And no Mega Buster. But, presentation-wise, it has not aged well, but I still like it. I already said music is pretty good. I give the soundtrack a listen if you're into mostly metal or rock. I'd say rock. Gameplay is pretty fun, especially just being silly. I recommend trying out the skills that you learn rather than using just other weapons like I was doing. But if you want to be overpowered, get the Mega Buster and the small chainsaws. You will not be disappointed, for the most part. Mega Man boots have been added to the security room. And that's one other thing that I like about this game is the replay value. let's say that you want to get all the endings, or you're like me when I was younger, about 10 years ago, well, 12 years ago, and you weren't very good and you were at a low level. The replay value sells the game quite well because you can restart with your obtained level at and you can keep going, grinding your levels, getting other endings and achievements, which will warrant special, well, items for replays. In which case, such as the real Mega Buster, or different outfits like the Mega Man boots and the Mega Man pants, which is basically the whole torso. Mega Man tights, Special Forces boots, and the uniform now. The prisoner garb, overtime mode, and infinity mode. I might give just a brief showing of infinity mode. Frank West managed to escape the town of Willamette with information pertaining to the incident under his belt. The news caused a fever through the world, leading the U.S. government to admit at least partial culpability in the livestock research program. However, no connection to the Willamette incident was acknowledged, and the events that occurred there were deemed the work of a fringe terrorist group. The people of world, as could be expected from the modern culture, the news saturation, soon let the Willamette incident fade from their minds. The authenticity of Carlito's chilling plan to utilize the orphans as his pawns is yet to be confirmed or proven false. And yet he complained that his belly was not full. It's a game that has an interesting lore. I've only followed up to 2. I know some things in regards to 3 that taps back to this game, but not enough to where I can find a coherent story. Mainly because I don't own an Xbox One or Xbox 360, and I have no intentions to. Dead Rising 4 has made it to the PS4, and I will be giving that a look, despite what I've heard about it. But I'd rather wait until it gets a port on the PS4, if it ever does. And once it does, you can expect a playthrough in the future, after we do Dead Rising 2, but that's not going to be for a little while. At any rate, Infinity Mode. How many days can you survive in a shopping mall that's become a living hell? Your life bar will drain slowly with the passage of time. Pay careful attention to this as you progress and you enter your longest survival time into the ranking system. Consider anyone you encounter to be your enemy. Enemies carry hidden items. So as you can see, your life is slowly draining bit by bit. You are never at full health. And just as I said, everyone you encounter is an enemy. From the original psychopaths to allies. But let me go ahead and just show you. Huh. Is my level going down? That's new. Anyways, here's my Mega Man costume. Oh, those are boots. This is where you would get them if, once you beat the game in these Willamette bags. There we go. Now we are truly the Mega Man. I believe there's someone up on the roof that we can fight, and it's Otis. Everyone's favorite, oh my goodness, everyone's favorite janitor. Well, you want to kill him for having you constantly answer him when you were busy with other things? Now's your chance. And there's a result of items that you can grab. Regular tutorial. What the hell is this? A mailbox? Well, that's new. A frying pan, a paint can, a push broom, and a bowling ball. I believe your level goes down, I guess. If my memory serves, there are only 2 people I've ever fought. One was Otis, and although it's technically 3 that I'm counting, with this next one I count them all as one person as well. The Sniper family, which are in the leisure part. Literally any and every survivor, ally, and regular enemy are all now your enemies. Your goal in this is to survive as long as possible. If you want to set a goal for this, if you wish to attempt it, try 7 days. A whole week. Sounds crazy, I'm aware. When grabbed by an enemy, rapidly push down. Oh, button. Oh, for fuck's sake. The reason I say go for 7 days is not only is it an achievement to get 7 days max, but if you are to if you complete 7 days, you'll get the ultimate melee weapon, which is just as powerful as the Mega Buster, being able to pretty much one-shot enemies and has an incredibly long reach. It is the Beam Sword, or as some like to call it, Zero's lightsaber, from the Mega Man X series. But with this, we become Mega Man. Now we truly are Mega Man in this game. And this is basically what's left. I believe there's a ranking as to how well you can survive in Infinity mode. I'm not going to bother. I got what I wanted. And the game is great. I may attempt it on my spare time, but nothing that I'm going to show off. So with that done, it's on to the next project. Now, I have 2 games that I'm ready to try out. And one of them, it's a matter of which one I plan to do first. One of them I've never played, and one of them I haven't played since I've had a PSP. And is literally one of the only games that I played on it. I believe I hinted at before, that's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. If Fur does not do the other Kingdom Hearts games, then we're going to have to arrange something, because I have never even played the other Kingdom Hearts games. Well, I have, but some I've barely touched, if touched at all. So we'll be discussing that later. But the other game that I have in mind is Oh, that's what it does. It counts how long you have until the next bar of health goes down. That's not your experience. Okay, good. The other game I was trying to say, though, is Gravity Rush. I have both 1 and 2, and I've never played the game or seen any footage of it. For the most part. I haven't seen, like, what the plot is. I know what the character's name is, the main character, Cat. And something about controlling gravity, but that's the most I know. Aside from that, it would be a brand new experience, and it will be my other blind LP, next to possibly other Kingdom Hearts games. As for whatever else, well, I rather focus on those 2 games. Kingdom Hearts I know is going to be a long game. Gravity Rush, I'm not sure. And I also have Gravity Rush 2, but I don't think I'm going to be playing it immediately after. It depends on how much Gravity Rush 1 captivates me. If it does. But anyways, there's not much I can say in this game. I mean, if I had to recommend any of the Dead Rising games, you can look at this one, but I probably wouldn't pay full price for it. I know I didn't. I think the $20 that I paid for, maybe a little less, is worth it, just to see how Dead Rising got its start. From Frank West covering wars to Surfbot heads on everything. But if I had to recommend a series to actually have fun with, that would be Dead Rising 2 and or Off the Record, which is basically the same game, only with Frank. But I think Dead Rising 2 has more to offer. Hello, little fella. Dead Rising 2, the vanilla one, I find to be my favorite by far. Again, this is someone that's not played Dead Rising 3 or 4, but I will most likely be playing 4 in the future. I hope you enjoyed this trip through Willamette Mall with me and killing all these zombies. I have been your host, Purple, and I thank you for playing with me, Dead Rising. I'll see you guys next time.